Chaitanya Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we continue reading from
Shilpa ji, you are little soft.
Is this better now? Is
A
that better?
little better, but not very good.
Oh, not very good.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try.
Is somebody else, if you want to say, it's only me or
I cannot hear. Yeah.
yeah, it's very soft actually, Shilpa.
Yeah,
Very soft.
Oh, now is that better?
A little better, but not very good.
Oh, let me see what happened then. I'm not sure what happened to the microphone today.
Maybe you can just come a little closer, like how you always come, or something.
Let me see. Is microphone? Do I need to change? Better now?
Yeah, I mean a little better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Setting. Okay, so that's better, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
And for the shloka,
Thank you.
if Rashmi auntie or Payal would like to read, they can read, either of them. दोनों में से कोई भी, जिसको भी.
I have to go drop Parina to school. So
आंटी आप, आंटी वैशाली जी.
not do it.
Vaishali ji, you can do. Okay. If nobody, then I'll do. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we heard how Krishna told Kalia, you go to the Ramanaka island and Garuda won't trouble you anymore. And then Parikshit Maharaj was, he inquired that how come Kalia came to Yamuna in the first place, what happened? And then we are hearing the story of Kalia, that how to get protection from Garuda, the snakes would make offering once a month to them. But Kalia got so proud that he started taking the offerings for himself. Vishavirya Madavishta
Vishaviryam madavishta
Kadraveyastu Kalia
Kadraveyastu kaliyah
Kadarthi Kritya Garudam
Kadarti kritya garudam
Swayam Tam Bubuje Balam.
Swayam tam bhuje balim.
Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Although all the other serpents were dutifully making offerings to Garuda, one serpent, the arrogant Kalya, son of Kadru, would eat all these offerings before Garuda could claim them. Thus Kalya directly defied the carrier of Lord Vishnu. So here Kalya is also, he's also just coming in between, not caring for Garuda. They all are making offering for Garuda and he's like, I'm gonna eat it myself. So his arrogance, his pride was here. Tachrutva kupito rajan
Tachutva kupito rajan
Bhagavan Bhagavat Priyaha
Bhagavan Bhagavat priyaha
Vijigam Sur Mahavega
Vijigam sur mahavegaha
Kaliyam Samapadravat.
Kaliyam samupadravat.
O King, the greatly powerful Garuda, who is very dear to the Supreme Lord, became angry when he heard of this. Desiring to kill Kaliya, he rushed toward the serpent with tremendous speed. Srila Sanatana Goswami explains that the word Mahavega indicates that the great speed of Garuda cannot be checked by anyone. So Mahavega, It's very fast. Nobody can stop him. Can go very fast. So with this he's going very fast towards Kalia. Garuda is too upset now, wants to kill Kalia. Tam apatantam tarasa vishayuda
Tamatantam tarsa vishayudha
pratyabhyayat uttitane kamastaka.
pratya abhayayat uttathina ekmastakah
Darvi suparnam vyadashat tad ayuda
Dadib suparnam vyadashadat ayudah
karala jigro chavastir vasito kralochana.
कराल जिह्वो उच्चवसित उग्रलोचनः
As Garuda swiftly fell upon him, Kalia, who had the weapon of poison, raised his numerous heads to counterattack. Showing his ferocious tongues and expanding its horrible eyes, Kalia then bit Garuda with the weapons of his fangs. The Acharyas explain that Kalia used his weapon of poison at a distance by spitting venom upon his enemy, and at short range by biting him with his terrible fangs. So Kalia is spitting the poison from his mouth on Garuda, and is also biting him. They're fighting here with each other. Tam tarkshya putra sanirasya manyuman
तं तार्क्ष्यपुत्रः सनिरस्य मन्युमान्
prachanda vego madhusudanasanah
प्रचण्डवेगो मधुसूदनासनः
pakshena savyena hiranyarochisa
पक्षेण सव्येण हिरण्यरोचिषा
jaganakadru sutam okra vikramaha.
जगानकद्रुसुतमोग्रविक्रमः
The angry son of Tarkshya, moved with overwhelming speed in repelling Kalia's attack, that terribly powerful carrier of Lord Madhusudan struck the son of Kadru with his left wing, which shone like gold. So, who is the son of Tarkshya?
कालिया
Garuda.
It's Garuda.
Garuda. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Garuda. Garuda is Tarksha's son. And then Kadru is Kalia is the son of Kadru.
ताक्षार के क्रुद्ध पुत्र कालिया के वार को पीछे धकेलने के लिए ताक्षर्य, राइट? यू सेड ताक्षर्य.
The son of Tarkshya moved with. So the Tarksha's putra is Garuda.
Why in Hindi it is written in a different. ताक्षर्य के क्रुद्ध पुत्र कालिया के वार को.
तो तार्क्ष्या का जो जो एंग्री सन है वो कालिया के वार को रिपेल कर रहा है. तो देयर टू, एक है तार्क्ष्या का पुत्र, एक है कालिया.
ओके.
हम्म,
क्रुद्ध पुत्र
तो
कालिया के वार को पीछे धकेलने प्रचंड
गरुड़
वेग से आगे. ओके, यहाँ कद्रू नहीं है, वो क्रुद्ध है, एंग्री. ओके, सॉरी, मैं उसको कद्रू समझ रही थी. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Shilpa ji, there is also one story, no? Kadru was somebody जो
that is
जिसका
Kayadu.
कयादू.
Kayadu.
That is Kayadu.
Prahlad's mother.
Okay.
वो
कयादू.
कयादु है. सुपर्णा पक्षा विहि हतः.
सुपर्णपक्षाभिहतः
काल्योत्तीवा विह्वलः
कालियो तीव्रविहलः
हृदं विवेश कालिन्द्यास्
हृदं विवेश कालिन्द्या
तत् अगम्यं दुरासदम्.
तद् अगम्यं दुरासदम्.
Beaten by Garuda's wing, Kalia was extremely distraught, and thus he took shelter of a lake adjoining the river Yamuna. Garuda could not enter this lake. Indeed, he could not even approach it. So they both are fighting, Kalia and Garuda, and now Kalia is defeated. He knows he cannot win Garuda. So he is going to this lake in Yamuna because he knows Garuda can't come there. So for his own protection from Garuda, he is going there. Tatre kada jal charam
तत्र कदा जलचरम्
Garudo bhaksham ipsitam
गरुडो भक्ष्यम् ईप्सितम्
nivarita saubharina
निवारितः सौभर्येण
prasaya shuddhito hara.
प्रसन्ना श्रुतिदो तो हरत्.
In that very lake, Garuda had once desired to eat a fish, fish being, after all, his normal food. Although forbidden by the sage Saubhari, who was meditating there within the water, Garuda took courage and, feeling hungry, seized the fish. Sukadeva Goswami is now explaining why Garuda could not approach the lake in the Yamuna river. It is the nature of birds to eat fish, and thus by the arrangement of the Lord, the great bird Garuda does not commit any offense by nourishing himself with fish. On the other hand, Saubhari Muni is forbidding a much greater personality to eat his normal food did constitute an offense. So Garuda, he is the Lord Vishnu's servant, right? Garuda. But we have to understand he is also a bird, and it's very natural for birds to eat fish. So eating fish is his natural food. So it's not an offense on Garuda to eat fish because he has to maintain himself. So it's human beings who are prohibited from eating fish. We have to understand that. But he is a bird. So Saubhari Muni here is forbidding Garuda, and that's where that his offense is coming. So now here is mentioned, according to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Saubhari committed two offenses. First, he dared to give an order to a supremely exalted soul like Garuda, and second, he obstructed Garuda from satisfying his desire. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Saubhari Muni is telling Garuda, hey, don't do that, don't eat fish. And Garuda was hungry, that's why he was eating. So he's stopping him from fulfilling his desire. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, Saubhari is committing two offenses here. Is that okay?
So this means that Saubhari Muni did an offense.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
He has offended Garuda.
He has offended.
Yeah. Meenan sudukhitan drishtva
Meenan sudukhitan drishtva
Dinan meena patau hate
Deenan meena patau hate
Kripaya saubhari praha
Kripaya saubharihi praha
Tatratya shemam acharan.
Tattatriya shemam acharan.
Seeing how the unfortunate fish in that lake had become most unhappy at the death of their leader, Sobari uttered the following curse under the impression that he was mercifully acting for the benefit of the lake's residents. In this regard, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that when our so-called compassion does not tally with the order of the Supreme Lord, it merely causes a disturbance. So Sobari Muni here is thinking that I am being the protector, I'm saving the fish. Now all the fish are scared that their leader has been killed, and then Garud can come again and again and kill them. So let me protect the fish. So Sobari Muni here is feeling compassion for the fish. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that we have to understand, but what is the will of the Lord? We may artificially try to put our compassion in certain place, but that may be against the will of the Lord. Here especially we can say that Garuda, he's a devotee. He's a devotee, he's just eating fish to maintain himself. That's the nature that God has created. Can't go against God's nature, right? Krishna's law is like that. But here Saubhari Muni is saying, no, Garud, you don't eat. Don't come here. So because Saubhari had forbidden Garuda's coming to that lake, Kalia moved in and made his headquarters there. And this spelled doom for all the lake's residents. So now instead of Garud coming, Garuda cannot come. Now Kalia has come. And Kalia has poisoned the lake so much that nobody can be there. No trees, no plants, no birds can fly over it. No fish in the river, no Brajvasis, no cows, nobody. Yeah. So in fact, Saubhari Muni has done harm here by forbidding Garuda to come to Yamuna. Any comments?
Just one question, Shilpa ji.
Uh-huh.
So Shaubari Muni was the one who did tapasya and then he got bewildered by the fishes having fishing mating, right?
That's right.
He's the same one.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why he got really compassionate to the fishes.
Yeah.
Because he was
Because,
observing them and he got disturbed himself by their mating, right?
yeah, that's right.
Mm.
And that's how then he offended Garuda.
Mm.
I think we are going to read about that here soon. Atra pravishya Garudo
Atra pravishya garudo
yadi matsyan sakhadati
yadi matsyan sakhaditi
satya prane vyuchyeta
sat sadya pranirviyujeta
satyam etad pravimi aham.
satyam etat vabhrimi aham.
If Garuda ever again enters this lake and eats the fish here, he will immediately lose his life. What I'm saying is the truth. The Acharyas explain in this regard that because of Saubhari Muni's material attachment and affection for a fish, he failed to see the situation from the spiritual viewpoint. The ninth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes his fall down for this offense. Because of false pride, Saubhari Muni lost his power of austerity and with it his spiritual beauty and happiness. In the ninth canto, we had already heard. Is it that he was underwater and then he saw the fish and he wanted to get married, and then none of the king's daughters wanted to marry him. Then he made himself very beautiful, and then all of them wanted to marry him, 50 or something, right? And
Yeah,
then they all
50.
married him. And then after some time, he realizes, oh, what am I doing? And then he goes back to his spiritual practice. So when Garuda came to the Yamuna, Sabari Muni thought, although he may be a personal associate of the Supreme Lord, I will still curse him and even kill him if he disobeys my order. So this is something big, right? Because Sobari Muni here is thinking that he's more powerful than Garuda, even though Garuda is a pure devotee. He is personally with Lord Vishnu all the time, personal associate. So Sobari Muni is thinking himself to be greater than Garuda. And he's like, okay, I'm telling you, don't come here. And if you don't come here, you're gonna die. Such an offensive attitude against an exalted Vaishnava will certainly destroy one's auspicious position in life. As the ninth canto describes, Saubhari Muni married many beautiful women and suffered greatly in their association. But because he had once become glorious by taking shelter of the Yamuna river in Sri Vrindavan, he was ultimately delivered. So even though after he got married and for some time he was distracted, he again came back to his austerities. And the explanation is because he began where he had left off, basically. He had taken shelter of Yamuna. He was doing his austerities inside the Yamuna. So because of that, now he's again able to take up his spiritual practices. Is that okay?
Yeah. So
Comments?
this is that first he got bewildered. He was in the Yamuna Nadi only at that time also, right?
Mhm.
When he was doing his tapasya.
Yeah.
And then he got impacted and he cursed Garuda, and then he got married to these beautiful ladies, and then again he took shelter of Yamuna ji,
Yeah.
right? So this is the chronological order, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tatkalya param veda
Tatkaliyah param veda
nanya kaschana le liha
nanyah kaschana leliha
avat sid garudad pita
avatsid garudat pitah
krishnena cha vivasitaha.
krishnena cha vibasitah.
Of all the serpents, only Kalia came to know of this affair, and in fear of Garuda, he took up residence in that Yamuna lake. Later, Krishna drove him out. So in that Ramanaka island was full of snakes, right? But only
Yeah.
Kalia knew that Garuda can't come to Yamuna because he's been cursed by Saubhari Muni. So taking advantage of this, he's gone to Yamuna. And then, of course, we heard that how Krishna has ordered him now that go back to this Ramanaka island in the middle of the ocean. Leave Yamuna. It says no. Okay. Krishnam Hidat Krantam
Krishnam hridad vinishkrantah krantam
Divyasra Gandhavasasam
divyastra gandhavasasam
Mahamani Ganakirnam
mahamani ganakirnam
Jambu Nada Parishkritam
jambunad parishkritam
Upalabhyo Thita Sarve
upalabdhyo uthita sarve
Labda Prana Ivasava
labdh prana ivasavah
Pramoda Nibrit Atmano
pramodha nibhrit atmano
Gopa Pritya Bhi Rebhere
Gopaha pritya abhire bhire.
Resuming his description of Krishna's chastisement of Kaliya, Sukadev Goswami continued. Krishna rose up out of the lake, wearing divine garlands, fragrances, and garments covered with many fine jewels and decorated with gold. When the cowherds saw him, they all stood up immediately, just like an unconscious person's senses coming back to life. Filled with great joy, they affectionately embraced him. So Kalia worshipped Krishna along with his wives and offered him so many garlands. We heard he gave him a garland of lotus flowers, right? And also gave him a lot of jewels. One of the jewel was Kaustuba jewel, which was Krishna's jewel itself. And then also gave him uh, scents, fragrances. And now Krishna is coming out of the lake, and the Brajvasis are seeing their dear Krishna coming back. And when Krishna was in the lake, they were as if almost dead. Their life is gone. They were so much afflicted with anxiety for Krishna's well being. And now that they are seeing Krishna is back, they are gradually, you know, coming back to life. Like how when you're unconscious, don't know. And then you get conscious, you get back to life. So we're seeing the attachment of the Brajvasis towards Krishna, that they're so attached to him, they love him so much. They're so happy now. They're embracing him with full of love. We're gonna continue tomorrow. Did you all want to add anything?
Like how for a moment at that time they didn't know what to do, and they were in so much anxiety seeing Krishna,
Yeah,
that Krishna jumped into the lake, and now when they see Krishna back, then they are so happy.
yeah, that's right.
So their love is really pure, that it rotates only around Krishna, nothing else.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, thank you all for listening and enjoying. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.